Hello and welcome to another special edition of 409 Sports X's and O's. We are back to normal.
Yes, we are.
I'm Ashley Elam.
The one and only Mike Gonzalez.
The one and only, and this young man here,
Head coach
Jason Smith, Kelly Bulldogs. Thank you for stopping by. First of all,
Man,
I
appreciate y'all having me.
When you're undefeated,
Yeah, you, I appreciate being here. Yeah.
I know you're getting calls from everybody because you're 4-0, and now you've gone big time.
No, not yet. It's a good season so far.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that. Is you're coming off another win, and that makes it your best start since 2007.
That's right.
How awesome is that to see the blue and gold with 4 wins already?
It's exciting. And honestly, you wish that it was just like, as is, and kids would play no matter what, but having the 4-0 start, people seem like they buy in a little bit more. Definitely, there's more commitment right now. They actually believe in what we're saying, which been doing the same thing for the last 3 years, but being 1-8 compared to being 4-0 right now, kids seem like they're actually, oh yeah, you know what you're talking about, which we've been doing the same thing since year one.
But it really does seem like it's all coming together. And one of those games that I pointed to is that road win at Tarkington.
Yeah.
When you went up there, Tarkington was undefeated, and you were able to come back and knock off the Longhorns on their own field. And at that point, it seemed like, oh, wow, you might have something going on here.
Yeah, you know what? It happened, honestly, it started in the spring with the kids buying into workouts in the spring, to off-season, to summer conditioning when we had 30 kids show up, and they're busting their butt all summer, and they like each other, they believe in each other, they believe in the coaches, and then we went out there to Tarkington, and we knew we were going to have to play a good game, be aggressive, and those guys they played their butts off, and I believe in them, they believe in us. It's been good so far.
So what would you say is the number one difference maker compared to years prior to this year?
You know what? Having kids in the program for 3 years. You know what? So going on year 3, having guys that we had as freshmen, and then developing them from year 1 to year 2 to year 3. That's probably the biggest difference.
And also, with you were talking about the workouts, the kids buying into it. Is there anything you guys are doing different, or did you switch is it still the same path that you guys been doing?
You know what? I'll tell you this. I think we're doing pretty much the same thing. I've got good coaches around me. Having Coach Sparks, he was a guy. I GA'd at Lamar, then I went to Blinn. He was GA at Lamar. Being able to get him as our defensive coordinator, he's like my right-hand man. And Coach Hartsfield, who was the head coach in 2011, we went to a state championship. Having those two guys, it makes a big difference. So it's not just me, obviously. I've got really good coaches around me, and then these kids have bought into it. So we're kind of doing the same stuff. Coach Sparks has added something. Our defense, they play lights out, man. They believe in him. During off-season conditioning, they work their butt off. He helps me in the weight room. All that has transitioned into where we are right now.
And that transitions right into another tough game this week.
That's right.
You got the Deweyville Pirates, and when you look across the Deweyville, we know it. They're going to play hard.
Absolutely.
They're going to be physical. What do you expect them to get on Friday night?
They're relentless. Coach Prowse over there does a great job with the kids, and they beat us last year for homecoming. Now we're going over there for homecoming. So it's exciting. I hope our kids. The whole deal with this week has been focused, and we need to have great preparation and be able to go out there and execute on Friday. And but no, they're going to play relentless, and they're going to be a tough team to play. They're 3-1 right now. We're 4-0, whatever. But we're trying to go 1-0 this week. The past is the past. They're going to play hard, and we need to go out there and execute.
You mentioned focus, and there's a lot of reasons that it's tough to focus right now. We were out there, both Mike and I were out there that Friday after Imelda, and you're there with the players, other kids from the school. You're ripping out the flooring, you're tearing out walls, and how you walk through our station and you see we're missing half our walls and our floors are gone. How tough is it to stay focused and say, okay, it's back to business now when you're in an environment like that?
It was tough. The first Monday was tough, okay, because we're not in school. It's not a normal schedule. And then the second Monday, it was even more tough. Like this past Monday, we go in there, and so it's the first time they're back in school. So then they come in, okay, so it's been distracting for sure. But I'll tell you this, I was more proud of our kids that Friday coming in there, and they worked their butts off, worked through lunch. They didn't even eat lunch, and we tore up all the carpet out there. And I was more proud of that, of how hard our kids worked trying to fix our school, than I was going to get a win on Friday. I was more proud of that.
So when you see something like that, do you think it honestly does much to a kid's psyche heading into going into the game, or do you feel like, you know what, yes, they're out there helping, but at the end of the day, they have professionals taking care of that. Is it still the same mindset, or do you feel there's anything different going into it?
You know, I think they were excited to get back to like a routine, but obviously it's got to humble you a little bit to realize, okay, like football is just a game. It is just a game, and how many people were affected in Beaumont by what happened. You know, and we had about 4 kids that were affected by it, but you know, Beaumont was devastated by it. I mean, if you just drive through the south end of Beaumont and everybody that was affected by it, it's a terrible thing. I thought it, you know, honestly, just in our small circumstance, you know, Kelly High School, this is 2 years. In 2 years, we've had Harvey and then Imelda, and our schools got flooded. And our kids came in there on Friday, the day after, and they came up there and they worked their butts off, and I was very proud of that. But go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you know, it's definitely not a team bonding experience you're wanting. You're
Right.
not wanting to have to go out there and rip your school apart to
Right.
rebuild again. But what do you think they get out of that? I mean, it's not them on the football field together with the brotherhood, but you're out there still helping each other where it really counts.
No doubt, man. I mean, it's a bond. You know, they came in there, and it was the football players. They came in there, and they were like, all right, let's get to work. You know, and it was just like anything else we do as a team. You know, they came in there, and it was teamwork. It's the same thing that we've been doing all year, through the spring, through the summer. Those guys came in there as a team, and they busted their butt to get the carpet out, you know. And it almost seemed like something that we like normally do. Obviously, it was an odd circumstance, but they worked their butts off. I mean, it worked all the way through. We didn't even eat lunch. You know, made sure that we got everything out, and then they ate lunch. I was very proud of that.
I want to get back to Duovo real fast because week 1, that's a team that got blown out. However, the past 3 weeks, they've been on fire. I know they've been averaging 30-plus points a game. Does much change in the game plan defensive-wise at all going in this week?
I'll tell you this. Yeah, absolutely, because we've played a lot of spread teams. What they do unbalanced formations. They move into formations. Then they motion. I mean, they do a lot that gives you problems. It's hard to prepare for that. And it's hard to prepare for that with a scout team that's usually like a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. Like, hey, let's give our varsity a look. It's tough to prepare for that. They're very good offensively. They're 3-1 for a reason. So we've got our work cut out for us. You know, we've got to be able to see what they're in immediately. And they do it so fast. They run it to the line of scrimmage. They're in it. They move. They motion. You know, I mean, it's a lot on the defense to handle, and you can't really simulate that in practice. So hopefully we're ready, man. You know.
Now, there's something really important. We know how important this is to you because this guy's got style, by the way.
Style
you got that
profiling.
uniform combo for Friday
Yeah.
yet? Because they got new uniform. They got 3 jerseys, 3
that's
pants.
right.
They rotating in
That's
and out
right.
every week.
We got 9 different combos. Yeah, we're ready, man. So far, we've done well in yellow. So
Okay.
we've got the new yellow jerseys, new yellow pants. We'll be in the yellow jerseys this week and blue pants. So hopefully it serves us well again.
So,
We've been
you're,
far
you're on the
good.
road, correct?
That's right.
So you're going a little color rush, color versus
Yeah,
color.
absolutely.
Friday. Look at that. See?
Absolutely.
I'm liking it. I'm digging it.
No, I did have to say that the banana look.
Yeah, yeah, the mustard, the all mustard.
All mustard. Yeah.
That's senior night. We're gonna go all mustard for senior night.
That's the
Yeah.
one you don't want to miss, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That's going to be a good one.
Absolutely.
Well, now we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to discuss it's what I brought up last Friday. There's some issues in taps that I'm not happy with. Maybe he'll let us know his opinions on it, too. That's coming up after the break here on 409 Sports X's and O's. Hello and welcome back to 409 Sports X's and O's. We are here with Kelly head coach Jason Smith. Of course, Mike Canizal. He's always here, though.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. Last Friday, I'm guessing you were watching because I got a text afterward.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
after we were talking about Kelly getting the victory, best start since 2007, I have to point out there's some big issues going on with TAPS. What are your thoughts on TAPS before we play this?
I don't know what I should say and what I shouldn't say. Obviously, we're at a disadvantage. Just being that our enrollment's 380 kids, and if we actually were to have to go into 6A football, they got teams that have high enrollments over 1,000, and that's who we'd have to play. And so right now the enrollment's 380 to infinity. Obviously, we wish that they would increase it, where we could go down to 5A or Division II, and we could be, around schools that are comparable to our size.
Right.
Now,
in case you did miss it, here's a look at what I exactly said on the 4-9 Sports Blitz. I just felt like it was time to talk about it. Kelly is 4-0 for the first time since 2007. That is huge. I can tell you there was a lot of question if the Kelly football program was even going to stick around.
Yeah. And look what happened.
Coach Smith comes in, former Kelly football player. He changed the helmet back to the old helmet in the 90s.
I'm digging it.
He's bringing back that old tradition. They dropped out of Division I in TAPS because, let's face it really wasn't a fair game.
No, it was not.
They were
It was
facing
just
St.
terrible.
Pius, St. Thomas, Concordia, these teams that are known to have tons of D1 athletes from, let's say, all over the Houston area that somehow end up in those schools. But it was just a tough playing field for them. Now they're playing teams more of their level. Yep. Sitting at 4-0, what you're going to do, you're going to build confidence. You're going to get people that want to join the program again. And then maybe your numbers go up, and then Kelly can move back into Division I, hopefully. Or if not, maybe the TAPS would finally wake up, let Kelly drop to Division II, because Division I in private school is literally around 350 to unlimited. So it means you can be a school of 350 playing against a school of 1,500, and you're in the same district. How ridiculous is that? I mean, come on.
It puts us at a disadvantage. We're the smallest school in 6A. And it's not, I don't know. I don't want to say, I hate to just
I know
complain.
You don't want to bury the the organization that you play for, of course.
Right.
I mean, TAPS has been good to Kelly over the years.
Absolutely.
And we're not knocking TAPS overall. I'm just talking about the classifications are a little unusual.
You know what? Most teams have higher enrollment, and on top of that, they're recruiting players.
Right.
So
let's be honest.
They've got really good players, and their enrollment's higher. We are not doing that, and we've got lower numbers, so it puts us at a serious disadvantage.
When you're going against that serious disadvantage, like you're just talking about, I mean, how many kids do you think you probably lost over the years not playing because they see games like this? I mean, as you talked about, hey, you're going to build confidence. You're going to get more students in there.
That's right.
If a kid, I know that if I was watching a team, I'm going to school, and they're just getting steamrolled every week, why would I want to play? That's no fun.
It makes it tough. And then that actually affected before I got there, they didn't have a sub-varsity team. There's no JV team, no freshman team or whatever. And that was because nobody wanted to play St. Pius. St. Pius had 8 Division I athletes. So imagine being a 14-year-old kid and being, okay, we got 20 kids on the team. All right, you're a freshman. You got to be thrown out there to play against guys that are going to A&M and Arizona and wherever else, and you probably shouldn't even be playing on the JV team or a freshman team.
Sure.
So we had freshmen playing against Division I athletes, when people are like, I'm not doing that, my safety's at risk, and then it becomes a safety concern. So being able to play teams that are comparable to us has served us well, and then obviously we've had more numbers, Every year I've been there, we've averaged about 45, 50 kids the last 3 years, but that's being Division V. The first year we had to play 6A, played Pius, we played Thomas, we played Concordia, played Bishop Lynch. But the last 2 years, and the numbers are growing. In fact, you got more kids being like, you know what, I've had more kids playing that have been like soccer players, like, I'm going to try football, and they've been great for us. Never played football down in their life. They come out there and they're starting for us. First year ever playing.
The stamina's got to be there for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As much run as you do, you already know. Yeah, so, I mean, we've gained more kids because of it, and hopefully it continues that way. I hope we don't get thrown back into Division I, If it happens, we'll deal with it, and we'll put up a fight, but hopefully we'd get dropped down to Division II.
Now, I did want to bring that up. Okay, so So when the realignment happened last time, I remember going over your practice, and originally
Yeah.
they had you in a district with San Antonio and Austin. These are district games. The cost of travel alone.
That's right.
And to go up there and possibly get it handed to you by bigger schools.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say it was a no-brainer. I know it was a tough decision for you.
Right.
But you have to do what was best for you and best for the program.
That's right.
Now, say this realignment comes back around this time. Have you been giving it thought? Are you going to throw yourself back in that pool? What are you thinking right now?
God, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Deweyville right now. and when that time comes, then I'll concentrate on that. But honestly, I mean, seriously, I mean, as stupid as it sounds, like I'm really focused on this week, on Friday night. And we need to do our best job to try to be 1-0 this week. And then after that, whatever happens, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it.
Just in a situation like that, I mean, how much control, do you have? I mean, I know you actually talked about, you're going to go to this, think about that. I mean, how much say-so would you have with that?
With the
what division you play in?
I really have none. They'll decide what the enrollment level is. So they'll say, okay, we're 380 to infinity, or we're 400 to infinity, we're 450 to infinity. They'll decide that, and then whatever it is, I got to deal with it.
So, I mean, do they ever go back and look at, prior years, hey, did this work for us, or maybe it didn't work for us? Is it just, what, the heck with them, we're just going to stick them in there? And
yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like they kept setting the bar where we're at, to be honest. I wish we could go down. But the whole deal with TAPS is there's not a whole lot of 6A schools. So you're talking about large private schools. There's only like 20 of them. And that's 380 to infinity. There's 20 of them.
About 16 of them go to the playoffs.
That's
around
right.
there.
That's right. And so 4 of us are in Division 5. 4 of us were like, okay, we're on the 400 less. Okay, so between 380 and 400, 4 of them said we're going to go Division 5. The 400 and above, they said we'll go to 6A or Division 1. And everybody makes the playoffs and whatever. But we can't play those schools. I mean, I did a stat. I went back and looked from 2012 to 2017. We're 0-26 against those teams. The average score is 50-9. I mean, it's we went and played Bishop Lynch my first year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they had like 60 kids on varsity. We showed up with 27 kids.
Yeah.
Not only that, but some of those kids are like Division I guys. They're over there and they're you're like, God dang, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And that's who we got to play. And I'm like,
well, that's what you look at in the non-district schedule. If you follow TAPS Division I, your Bishop Lynch's, your Bishop Dunn's, your St. Pius's, their non-district schedule is either against 6A schools or large 5As. And I remember when St. Pius, they put it on the defending state champion College Station. A 5A state champion.
By 30. That's right.
So, I mean, and that's what a school here in Beaumont with 380 is up against.
That's right.
And I don't know.
It makes it difficult.
But one thing is your group's resilient.
Yeah.
I will say that.
And luckily, we're not playing those guys right now.
Sure.
We've done a good job scheduling. We're playing opponents that are about our size, got the same amount of kids on varsity. And that just, it serves us well right now. And our kids is giving us confidence. We go out there and we can play with anybody that's got 30 kids. You got 30 kids on varsity, okay, we'll come play you, as long as you ain't got a bunch of Division I guys on there. But, yeah, I mean, we'll go out there and our kids, we're doing very well in what we're doing.
Now, when you are at a private school like this and there's more than just football you're teaching, there's life lessons, the Catholic school especially, there's a lot more lessons being taught there. How do you try to bring that side of it into your football program, or do you keep them separate?
No, you know what? Honestly, we're trying to instill, and I tell them all the time, I could care less. We're 4-0, whatever, okay? That's the last 4 games. I'm focused on this week, but if we do things right all the time, okay, if we show up and we're consistent, we're committed, we're on time, if we do the right things all the time, everything else will take care of itself. So it's more teaching. They're going to learn a lot of life lessons from football besides wins and losses. And most of the time, I'm not going to remember that stuff anyway. I can't tell you in 2008 who we played week 3. I mean, I can't. But I remember all those kids. I remember how hard they worked. And that's the whole deal is work ethic, commitment, being on time. This is stuff that you learn that's going to serve you well for the rest of your life. And that's really what we're trying to teach them. Because football's a commitment. These days, it's 12 months out of the year.
For sure.
I mean, we go straight from football season. We take like a week off. Then we're into off-season workouts all the way through the spring. Then we go to summer workouts, which is every day. except for Saturday and Sunday. Then we go straight into two-a-days, which is every day. I mean, these kids spend a lot of time doing football, and they're dedicated to it. So we got 45 kids that are committed to it. 1 out of every 4 boys in Kelly plays football, which is a big deal. 25% of the school plays football.
That's huge.
So it's great for us, and it's great for these kids because at the end of the day, when they go on to college, they're like, I got to wake my butt off for class. I got to get there. I got to pay attention. They're learning stuff, discipline, really. They're learning discipline that's going to serve them for the rest of their life, and that's what's awesome. Whether it wins and losses, whatever, that'll take care of itself. If we're good enough to win, we're going to win. Because our kids, they're going to fight, they're going to be disciplined, they're going to know what they're doing. Past that, I'm more concerned about how they're going about their business every day and their attitude than I am wins and losses.
It's funny that you mentioned about the wins and losses that, I couldn't tell you what happened this because, even whenever we talked about our athletic careers over at P&G,
there's very good, to be honest, but we did play.
Yes, yeah, we did.
Our team won games. We didn't have a lot to do with it.
I got you. But you're a part of it.
I was riding the pine, it is what it is. But it's true. There's maybe only 2 or 3 games I remember vividly, but other than that, I think we talk more about the locker room, what happened there,
well, for sure,
as opposed to what anything out. So I couldn't have said it better myself.
No, and that's the whole deal. Is how you treat everybody, your relationships with your coaches, with your players. How you're treating the people that are serving you in the cafeteria, how you're treating your teachers, and that's the stuff we always talk about. Like, I'm big on respect. I'm big on respect. I'm big on discipline. I'm big on punctuality, and most of these kids are doing that. I got a few that are just like, all right, come on, man, join the group. The majority, in fact, like 98% of us are doing it right. We're trying to get maybe that 2% to join in, but I haven't had this since I've been there. These guys work their butt off, and they're committed. They're early. They stay late. They do well in school. Those are the things. To be able to handle all that as a high school kid, eventually they're going to have a job, and they're going to have to go to school, and they're going to have a wife. They're going to have kids, and they're going to have some adversity, and that's the whole idea. The football teaches adversity going in there every day, whatever it is. All right, we're down by 10. All right, what are we going to do? How are we going to react to that? And so that's what I'm more proud of these guys right now because we faced it throughout the season. We've had 2 fourth quarter stops where they're about to win the game. We played provision where they're inside the 5. They can win it. They go out there and win it, or at least tie it, and we stopped them. We played Tarkin. They're on the 2-yard line, and they can win the game right there, and we stopped them. So these guys, they got so much fight in them, so much resiliency. I'm proud of these kids. I believe in them. They believe in us. They believe in each other. It's a good thing we got going on right now.
Now, last thing we're going to talk to you about, we can't talk about Slot Team Mafia. That's
unfortunately
not a member.
Yeah, no.
You throw the ball more than 6 times a game.
Barely, right now. Yeah.
Just a little bit over, so
yeah.
He's not going to be in the Slot Team Mafia, so we can't try to get in through him. But
very disappointing. What
was the coach or the coaches that influenced you the most to make you want to become a football coach yourself?
Okay. Coach Driscoll, who coached me at St. Anne's, man, I love that guy. Tough as nails. You get hurt, he'd be like, get up. You're like, okay. Immediately, get up. I'm going to get up. Coach Eskew was a great coach at Kelly. My first 2 years there, he was our head coach. And he didn't really ever compliment you. He's going to tell you when you did wrong. He held us accountable. He influenced me. And then Coach Terrio, who's my coach my junior and senior year, he really, and I hope he's hearing this because I love him to death, he did a great job with us. He was more of a player's coach, and he showed us love, and he was really concerned about our well-being and how we were, and I appreciate that. And I've modeled more of my coaching style around Coach Terrio than I probably have any of my other coaches. All the rest of them I love to death. I've coached with really good coaches. Coach Langston, he's the offensive line at Coach North Texas, and he's always given me great advice. Coach Barbay, Coach Larry Keck, who's the offensive coordinator at Lamar. Those guys, Coach Cleveland, he's a GA at Tulane. I coached with him at Blinn. Some of those guys, and Coach Cleveland, he's a great Christian. It was great to be around him for so many years. He's wise beyond his years. But that's kind of like, I don't know, I guess my coaching family, I'd say, those guys that I've been influenced by. But yeah.
All right, Coach. Well, appreciate you coming on.
All right, man.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, man.
This week, Kelly goes to Deweyville.
That's right.
Trying to go to 5-0 It's going to be
1-0. 1-0.
1-0. Just
That's right.
That's what coaches say every time.
That's right. 1-0. We're going 1-0.
The coaches will always say that it's 5-0. They're trying to go for 5-0.
That's right.
As they take on Deweyville, it's going to be one of the games that we will be featuring on the 409 Sports Blitz. Our game of the week. It's a big one too.
Right here. Bam.
Those guys.
That's a big day. Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
Very big day.
Alumni
Any
Bowl.
predictions?
Oh gosh.
The Alumni
on the
Bowl.
spot now.
Westbrook Beaumont United. Who you got?
Man, I can't do that. But I think,
here we go.
It's awesome that Beaumont's got 3 teams that are 4-0 right now, and I think both of them are well coached. I think Coach Peavy is a great coach. Coach Lewis is a great coach. I'm excited to see the outcome. I know this is what we do.
Excited.
As coaches, we always, as soon as the game's over, I always got to check the scores and like who did what, so that'll be exciting to see. It's going to definitely be exciting.
So no prediction, huh?
No, it's the old Beaumont Bowl, man. When it used to be Westbrook and Central, those were great games. I'm from Beaumont, man. I love Beaumont. This is, even when I was at Blinn, I recruited this area. I used to always tell kids, if I recruited Westbrook kids, Central kids, Ozane kids, Memorial kids, West Orange kids, I always told them, look, I don't care if I'm at Alabama, I'm going to come back and recruit Beaumont, Texas, the 409. So, no, it's great. It's great for those kids. It's great for the community. They're both 4-0. Somebody's going to walk away with the loss, for the first time this year.
Even if knowing that Westbrook averages about 45 a game.
Yeah.
And they
United
gives up 7.
right? Who has the advantage?
Defense or offense?
Well, you know what? They've all played different opponents. They've all played different opponents.
No,
we're
not gonna get
it's the truth. It's the truth. You know what?
Coaches and politicians, if you haven't caught on.
There's a lot of emotions that'll go into that game. I think, United's doing a heck of a job this year. I'm really proud of those guys. And I like the coaches at Westbrook. And we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. It'll be exciting.
See. The classic, we will see. Well, if you want to see our picks, they're going to be posted on 12newsnow.com tomorrow. I'm holding a 4-game lead over this guy.
Gotcha.
I'm coming back slowly but surely. It's all right.
We're all right.
Hey, you bet against us on Tarkington, man.
Oh,
Come on, man.
Hey,
I appreciate you betting on us, man.
Thank you. We're both over 700 though. So
we are both over 700.
That's right.
We're winning.
Man, he does pay attention.
I appreciate you bringing me on the show, though. I appreciate you bringing me on the show, man.
All
That's
right,
great for
Coach.
Kelly.
Once again, good luck to you.
Hey, I appreciate it.
We
Yeah.
are both
Thank y'all for
pulling
having me.
for you, and you'll see who we pick. We can't tell you right now because,
of course not.
if we pick against you, he might hit me right now. So we'll see you right here next week on 409 Sports X's and O's.
Cool.